Mhm. Anything now? No? Yes? No? Mic check? Yes? You can hear me now? Victory. I love y'all. Okay, great. So I was saying, thank you so much for saying that. Always, 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 as long as you ever come into my lives, come into the chat and tell me if you can't hear me immediately, because I often have weird wonky tech things, and especially right now. So I was just saying that I did not advertise that I was going to do this session because I moved house just a few days ago and I don't have real internet yet. I am literally doing this on the hotspot on my phone. And for various reasons, I had the internet people came out today. They were like, "Girl, you got a mile long freaking driveway. We have to run new fiber literally all the way from the street up this hill to that house to your house." It's not happening today. So I'm so glad you're here because I think it's important. And also because I've just moved and because so much we are living this eclipse. I didn't even like want to say we're going to do a whole ritual about the eclipse. We're going to teach about the eclipse because all you need to know about this eclipse and all eclipses is this, that eclipse is a time of great change if you let it. Let the goddess do what she does. Let her provide, let her destroy first, let her clear space, let it stop looking for it to look like what you would have done if it were up to you because it's not up to you. It's not up to you. So I had this whole plan last time we talked on the full moon. I had this whole entire plan where we were going to move to Lisbon for a little while they're doing the remodeling on my property out here at the beach in Edisada, Portugal, that I'm turning into a boutique hotel and just creatress house. Think luxury, like writer creating retreat. I was gonna move into Lisbon. I was house hunting in Lisbon last time we talked. I was like, the goddess provides. I'm not seeing the place yet, but she provides always, and she did. But what she provided first was like a few nights of me having seen the best that Lisbon had to offer for me, and I do have a lot of requirements. I need space. In the human design system, I am a valley space type, meaning I need big open spaces. I also have 2 dogs, 1 kid, a nanny who's here some of the time, friends come visit. Like, I just need space. I need my room, an office, a gym. London needs a playroom, art studio, and her room. It's the only way our brains work well. So I was clearly not seeing that in Lisbon. And I also need parking. I need outdoor space for the dogs. Okay. So I find a place 2 Wednesdays ago. I found a place, little villa, and it's one of the best neighborhoods in Lisbon. I love it, called Blind. Saw this place, was like, oh, the house is cute. It's cute. It just was like 1,200 square feet. And it was just scaled for a very adorable, old, small Portuguese lady, like 100 years ago, Portuguese lady. And I'm not that, I'm American, we're big, my kid is part Samoan, we're like this. So I was about to sign the lease on this place, and I was just in bed at night, literally having this, like, claustrophobic feeling creep over me, and I was like, "You know what? This feels very much like a downgrade. We're not doing downgrades. This is not how we operate." So I thought, you know, what if I'm I think what happens a lot of times when we're trying to create things under our own power and effort is we get very focused on ingredients versus vision versus the dish. What's the dish? So I was like, let me not do that. Let me zoom out. And this is a practice that I wanted to bring to you today in particular because of the new moon in Leo. I have gotten into, I still, do mostly what, if you've been studying daily ritual with me for long, Andrea, Sheila, I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Um, I have this 4-part daily ritual that has blessed my entire life, changed my life for real for 18, 19 years. I've been doing it. And I still mostly do that, but with edits, with evolutions. And in certain seasons, I use different practices. And my practice lately, I mean, I will tell you the upgrade to my experience of this life that has happened just this year when I really, something in me shifted from, you know, praying to white male sky god, which wasn't, is an exaggeration, but you know what I mean? It's evocative, to communing with the pre-patriarchal goddess and just asking for what I desire, sheerly because I desire it, and just asking for help and not making it be about give me the ingredients so I can go make it happen. No, here's what I want. The god the goddess provides. That's it. And then just literally watching things, the very specific things I said I desired, just fall, chase me down. So I was like, what I really want is like highest best for me, for London, for school, for friends, for love, for well being, for creating what I've wanted forever as a writing first life. But because I was trying to make it happen under my effort, I created a commerce first life. And I was like, I don't want any of that. Here's what I want it to look like. The goddess provides. Okay. So Wednesday night, I went to bed thinking I would be moving to Lisbon for at least a year. Middle of the night, Wednesday, I was like, absolutely not. That's not happening. Thursday morning, started to look again around the town I already lived in, which I love, and closer to the property that I own, the property where we're doing the big hotel project. And nothing happens fast in Portugal, you guys. Everything is years, everything is weeks, months, everything. That's just what it is. Thursday at 9 o'clock, I see this property. It's listed at 5,000 euros per month. Which is a lot. It's a big old house, okay? Just for perspective. Don't be freaked out if you're trying to move to Portugal. 9 o'clock is listed at 5,000 euros per month. 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10, and I'm like, that's a little more than I wanted to spend because I do have like multiple houses and households and employees and stuff. And I'm not doing stuff that I don't want to do anymore just for money. I was like, that's a little more than I wanted to spend. 10 o'clock, the price is reduced to 4,000 euros per month. That's a lot. 10 o'clock, I email the guy, the representative of the owner. And I said, I'd like to come see it. Now, usually here, this is several days just to go see the place. 10 o'clock, he emails me immediately back and says, be there at 11. Today. I'm like, all right, bet. I pile everybody in the car. The nanny's in the car. My kid's in the car. We come up to see the place. And I'm like, I'm driving up to this place and I'm also training my baby goddess of a child and training my nanny/assistant. I'm training everybody on how to do business, Tara style. So I'm like, already knowing that they're going to love this place. I'm like, do not act overly enthusiastic. do not walk around and be like, oh, like moving in. No, we have that conversation in private when we're back in the car. But I come into this blue, we drive up just next to the beach, up this dirt road. There's this bright azure blue gate, Porta Azul. He lets us in the gate. We drive way up this long driveway with palm trees, just beautiful green, past a stone fountain, past this other stone building, past this pool, to this beautiful house on the hill. And I'm like, all right, this is about to be our next house. And I tell you, I'm literally sitting in this house now. um, so we come into the house and I'm like looking around. It's 5 bedrooms, it's so much space. I can have my playroom, I can have her playroom and studio, I can have my office, we can have guest rooms, we can have all this stuff. Pool, on the beach. The guy's like, "Do you like it?" And and my Portuguese is very iffy, and I'm bad with numbers in Portuguese. So I'm like, 37.50 por mes." Okay? Remember, it was 5,000 euros and an hour and a half before that. He says, "Yeah, she'll take it. She'll take it. The owner would like to come meet you tomorrow." It's Thursday. "The owner would like to come meet you tomorrow, Friday. Um, she is 87 years old. I will drive her," he says. "I will drive her from Lisbon to meet you tomorrow at 7. We arrange 7 PM. I'm like, cool. And so Thursday, I saw that Wednesday, I was going to move to Lisbon. Wednesday night, I decided no, decided to let the guys take the wheel. Thursday, I see this property. Friday, I have the keys. Friday night, and let me tell you, this is a little bit of when I say the goddess provides, if you just desire what you desire, and that's the practice I want for you guys to leave here with. We're going to do a little bit of new moon in Leo, like deep dive into the power wish method, like we've been working. But I also want you to know a lot of this is just about in this season, what wants to happen through you is your desires. Your desires are not just selfish things you'd like or weird, things you should judge yourself for for not being content that you have a great life. No, your desires are both prophecy and messages from the past about what you've had and who you were. And this is the timelines that are trying to collapse through you. Remember, you don't collapse the timelines. Timelines collapse when you allow them to. The desires that you desire are because you always were part of a universal cosmic spiritual elite, and those are the powers that you had in the past, plus the infrastructure and technology and science and access that you have right now are trying to come together to create a more beautiful, universal reality than has ever existed before. Don't let the outrage industrial complex get to you. All right. What's what's wild now, what's being destroyed now, the institutions that are like exploding themselves and detonating themselves right now, they gotta go. They can't come where we're going with this. So let them implode while we be out here on the edge creating the new thing together, okay? So when I tell you the level of like goddess energy that happened the next day. So Friday I come back to this house. This woman is here. She is 87 years old. She insists now she has another little house on this property. She insists she's gonna come up to my house, which is like, Andrea, you remember my house in Oakland, right? Up all those stairs. It's literally that. It's like up 20 stairs. Except this house has a rooftop deck where we see nothing but sea on this side, nothing but green valley on their side. So it's a little different than Oakland. This woman insists, no, no, she doesn't want me to meet her in her house so she doesn't have to climb the stairs. She's like, I'm climbing the stairs. What are you talking about? Which means I'm kind of carrying her up the stairs because I'm like, she's a little precarious on these stairs and she ain't falling on my watch. I'm gonna tell you that now. So I'm kind of taking her up and along the way, she's stopping, she's taking breaks, she's showing London, oh, London, you can have chickens. There's a chicken coop back there. rabbit pen over here. You can have rabbits." I'm like, "No, you can't. Don't believe it. Don't believe it." But this lady's, like, walking up, she's talking to London, it's this whole thing, and she gets up to my house. I ask her a few questions about the lease. We illuminate all the ways in which her representative had misrepresented things. We get on the same page, and she says, "What do you do for a living?" And I know she knows what I do for a living, but I want to convey to you the level of, like, baller, regal, boss energy this lady is, like, just totally exuding. She's like, "What do you do for a living?" I say, "I'm a consultant for women with businesses." Because remember, we're in Portugal. She's speaking English really much better than my Portuguese, but I'm trying to convey this. And I'm thinking she's 87 years old. And, I don't know. We'll say I'm a consultant. I consult with women in business. Do you know what she says to me? "I'm a woman in business. Maybe you can help me start a new business." 87 years old. She's dead ass serious. "Maybe you can help me start a new business." I'm like, all right. Okay, I appear to have found exactly the right person. So I say, "What's your business?" And I have an idea that because this house is relatively new and I'm pretty sure she built it, it's very intentionally designed. She says, "I build things and you should be building things too." This is an 87-year-old white Portuguese woman. She's like, "Yeah, you should be building things too." I said, I have one project." I'm like, "Exactly, I should. I have a real estate project I'm developing here, but," I said, "I haven't done any ground up construction here because I don't know. I didn't do ground up construction in California where I lived my whole first 47 years of life." Right? So I'm like, I don't have the team here to do ground up construction. I don't know the people. And what I don't say, but is the limiting narrative that has been playing in the back of my mind, apparently that I didn't realize until it was we were in this conversation, is 100% of people that I know in this area say every ground up construction project is a minimum, will take you a minimum of 3 years to get the permits for. That is just what it is. That is how this nation operates. The end. So I'm like, what I said, that's what I was thinking. But what I said was, I don't know the right people for ground up construction here. You know what this 87-year-old woman says to me? She says, I have a 12-person team. She says, "You buy any terreno here." Terreno is lot, like a lot, a plot of land. "You buy any terreno here, you will have a house this year." Like, what? So for me, and then I proceeded to be like, in my mind, I had this whole scenario where this woman is like part of the lost um, Portuguese royal family, which seemed like just a funny thing to say until I moved in, and on the coffee table, kind of buried under all of these other books, there's like a bunch of large table books on this very large coffee table. She had this place furnished as like an Airbnb. So I've actually been moving my furniture in and moving her furniture out all week. Um, Under all these books on Chinese ceramics, prepare to see the largest actual book you've ever seen. Like, guys, this is my head. This book is a genealogy of the Portuguese royal family. So I kind of am like kind of joking, kind of not joking when I say this lady is probably part of it. But when I tell you that that conversation with her was very how the goddess has been providing. She's like, "No, they wait 3 years. I have a 12-person team. You'll have a house this year if you want to do any construction here, ground up." All right. And so what this required, what this very rapid series of manifestations, which are not just manifestations of things, are manifestations of self, are exaltations, manifestations of the highest version of me. Because I tell you what, we started sleeping here Thursday. I saw the house. Friday morning, Friday was a day that was like, this was the day on which the goddess was providing. You know how people do content drops? It was like a goddess drop. 7 o'clock a.m., I had my first meeting of the day. And I don't really work like this anymore. 7, I had a meeting for something in my business. 9:30, I had a meeting with my architecture and build team on the property for like 2 hours where they were like pitching me all of these like brand and marketing, just going above and beyond, showing out, doing so much more than I've engaged them to do. Just amazing. 12, I had oral surgery. 3, I had an interview, a school tour for London at this, like, school in a quinta on a farm. 7, I had to meet, uh I'm now calling her Tia Maria, the one who owns this house, because she's now introduced to me throughout town as her niece. Um, and then yes, and then we had dinner, and then Tia Maria found us at the pizza restaurant we went to at 10 o'clock at night on the beach. She's 87 years old, was just out here. I have stopped doing the hard work to get the ingredients of the desires of my heart. I have started to let the goddess handle it and provide. And I celebrate right now that this last 2 weeks was a time where I did not have to get sick to sit my ass still and sit on my hands and cease activity. Like 2 Wednesday nights ago, when I was laying in bed and I was like, "This ain't it. This Lisbon move is not it." My immediate next thing wasn't to, like, go figure out another place to see in Lisbon or another 10 places. No, it was just like, "Be still." Maybe what's being required and offered to me in this moment is to just be still. I love my town. I love our life here. Maybe it's just be still. And I didn't call my agent friends and get everybody on the case and text everybody I knew. I looked, I saw one property. I came to this property. I had the keys the next day for exactly 1,250 euros less per month than the property was listed for when I saw it the day before. Um, and so Friday night, or no, Saturday morning, London, she has barely been out of the pool since that Saturday morning. And it was like, guys, I didn't have movers planned, nothing. Got keys Friday. Monday, found some movers who then had to come like 4 different times with multiple teams to clear my stuff out and get it in here up all these stairs. And they just did it and were joyful and happy. My cleaners could come the next day to clean out the old house. It was just like, and it did require that I show up in some ways that were extraordinary. Like I said, I had 6 meetings that day, i- including oral surgery in the middle of the day. And I just was like, you know what? I'm going to keep showing up as I can. I'm not going to push myself physically past an edge. Like I was like, I might have to cancel something, but I'm going to keep showing up until I do. Because this is a goddess drop day, and I'm going to receive this drop. And I did. And it's beautiful. And actually, since the first day we slept in this house, it was like, okay, get up in the morning and back to my old writing rituals, right? It's just been like, sometimes for some of us, sometimes we are telling ourselves false prerequisite stories that say, I have to do this, that, and that, and that, and lose 10 pounds before I can do the thing that I really desire to do. And for others of us, especially like projectors in human design system, some other human design energies, um, there really is a thing of like when you're in the right place, there's sort of a click, and like the bank vault, dials slotting all in like in a movie when they're, in the movie in The Big Heist when they're like listening with a stethoscope to the to the vault, and they're, like, doing this, and then it, like, all clicks and falls in and unlocks. For some of us, being in the right geographic place, even down to the right property in the right space, can absolutely be that unlock. And again, I want you to consider this practice. Whether you have a deep daily ritual or not, I want you to, for the next till the next time we meet again. So we'll meet again in 2 weeks for the next full moon. We meet every 2 weeks, full moon and new moon. I had no guarantee of internet, which is why I did not promote this, but I absolutely will not forget this. I'm going to be here, full moon and new moon. Okay, period. Um, for the next 2 weeks, I want you to make a ritual and practice of writing out something you want. Let it be big, ideally something that's not just within your power to go do right now. Let it be big, let it be daunting, let it be audacious or not, but let it be like a true self want. Something maybe you would have never said to yourself before, something maybe you wouldn't say to anyone else in your life because they'd look at you kind of crazy or tell you you're being ridiculous or ask you why you want that when your life is so good. Like, I have a lot I have been excavating that. I have a lot of that. I have a lot of wonderful, wonderful things in my life that other people love, would be somebody else's dream life. And I get to desire more with less work, period. Not even, like, unapologetically, because that's still a reaction to somebody's expectation about needing apologies. I told London this week, because she apologizes a lot. She has princesa manners, perfect manners, but she apologizes a lot. And and she said the other day, she said, "I'm starry." And I said, "That's right. You are starry. You are a star. You're made of stars. You can say that all you want. That's true about you. You don't need to say I'm sorry as much as you saying you sorry. Sometimes I'm correcting you because I'm your mom and I need you to understand that, this is the right thing for you. This is not the right thing for you, but you don't have to be sorry, right? And I do want you to be sorry though. So say affirm that. Sorry. That's for somebody. Okay. Somebody out here needs to hear it. Stop being sorry and start being sorry. So let me just make sure that I covered everything. Yes. So just know when the goddess desire what you desire. If it don't feel right at all, that ain't it. Don't push yourself. So eclipse is rapid change. It's like goddess drop season. The goddess gonna drop a bunch of stuff. You will cock block. I'm sorry. You will vagina block her if you require things to look the way that you had planned, because her stuff is not going to be like that. It's just not going to come like that. It's not going to look like that. And it's not going to require you to do hard, 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 hard effort to to make it happen. It will require you to show up as big self in ways that you may not have shown up before. It will require you to trust. Like for me that day, I was like, oh, damn, how am I going to do this whole other 8, 9 hours of meetings after my oral surgery this day when I've already been doing, you know what? I'm just going to show up. If it's aligned, it'll work. I'll be okay. If not, I'll cancel it. But I just showed up to every meeting. I tried not to future trip too much out into the end of the day. I wasn't thinking about my 7 o'clock PM meeting during my 7 o'clock AM meeting. I was just like, this is a goddess drop day. I'm rested up because I don't live on the margins anymore. I live at the freaking beach. And so I'm like, let's just see. And just pause. And it was great. Um, so that kind of in this kind of rapid change season, You may be called upon to show up, and you will be called upon to show up at your growth edge too. That for me has meant something very specific, and I think it will mean this for some of you too. The first thing that has meant is this. I couldn't, as long as I was hard efforting to make it happen, it was not going to be the right thing. It would not happen. The goddess drops did not happen till I sat on my hands. And I invite you to get intentional about picking that up because everybody in here, we do so much, y'all. We be doing so much, going so hard for a lifetime. The goddess wants you to sit on your hands and let her provide. Okay. That was a word for somebody. The goddess also operates with magic words. Okay. And the magic words aren't what you think they are, right? So with white male sky god, the magic words are like the magic words that they teach you, you have to say to get white male sky god to give you anything, are like supplication, please, like begging. The goddess does not operate like that. She operates more on whatever the self-silencing is that you have uniquely been doing in your life for a lifetime. She will require that you cut that shit out. So for me, that has looked like I have had to learn how to speak up and I'm going to say ask for support or help. I'm going to say ask for support more than help. Um, in really specific ways. Okay. In really specific ways. I've had to speak up and ask people in my life to support who actually were able to support, who actually were the right ones, who actually, not just because they were like sycophantic or would say yes to whatever I was asking, but sometimes because they would say no. You don't need that, or don't do that. Do this instead. Here's what I learned. I tried this. I want you I have a friend who's like a house cleaner here in town. And I was talking with her this morning about schools for London. And she's like about the fourth Portuguese person to tell me, do not keep sending her to private schools. In this government, your child is legally obligated to have a high quality public education. And then she said, without knowing anything about our situation, she said, you know what? She said, her daughter has dyslexia and ADHD. Her daughter couldn't read in the second, third grade. And she said she took her to get evaluated and they came back with this evaluation and the school just started providing all of these resources. And she's like, and now my daughter's one that she's like, it's like she almost doesn't even, she's like, you wouldn't even know she is dyslexic because she's so engaged in school. She's so doing so well. She so can read. She's so thriving. She's so flourishing. And she's, like I said, she's like the third or fourth because I have had all these other people tell me this about public school here in Portugal. People who went to public school here in Portugal rave about public school here in Portugal. But we are coming out of the United States system where we feel like we have to pay so much to get anything good, right? Where we don't feel like it's safe or that we can trust that our kids will be in these schools. And she just was like, absolutely not. And there was a moment today where I was like, you know what? The pattern spotter in my brain was like, every parent of a kid who has any kind of learning difference that I've talked to here that is happy with school has their kids in public school. Actually, all the public school parents that I know are happy with their public schools. None of the international school kids that I know parents are that. Well, I shouldn't say none. There's like one or two schools that are way too far for us to go every day. But I was like, wow, what a revolution. So the fact that I asked her, I was really just asking her for like a link to something if she knew what the email address was for something that I couldn't find online. And she was like, oh, no, wait, hold up. Don't do that. Do this. And then use that money to do whatever, more horse, more music, more whatever. She's like, but no, this and so sometimes the goddess just want for me, because my toxic trait, so to speak, was a dysfunctional level of just independence, self-reliance, distrust that others would or could support, um, armoring, right? And I will one day share so much about all of the goddess drops I've received this year. Just wild stuff, you guys. Wild, so rapid, so beautiful, so exactly what I desired. So many things. um, and all of them had the magic words involved of me asking for help, me asking for support, but in a very different way, not just asking for help and being like, why doesn't anybody help me? I'm asking for help, which is what I used to do. Now it was like I asked really different people. I asked in really different ways. I was very impeccable in the energetics around these asks. Um, and people showed up. I mean, I think I've shared with you guys before with the property when I was acquiring it. And I had a family member who was supposed to be part of the deal who backed out at the last minute. I had €150,000 gap like 2 weeks before this property closed. And I had and there was like, the goddess did some work on me. She molded the clay of my spirit, my mind. And like, I was like, wait. This is not even the way I was trying to do this was really the wrong. It was just more of the same. It was more of the same. And I tuned into the essence of the opportunity that I could offer. And I tuned into what I really needed and wanted in terms of collaborators. And I asked some friends, and I've shared with you before. I asked like two groups of friends who were my fine tuning asks, where I was like, oh, okay. And then the third friend was like, girl, can you just send me the wire information? I can't actually like, let me just send you the money right now. We'll talk about it later. And they did. And when I tell you the healing in your heart that occurs when you have been eldest daughter, you know, first few only, over wildly over reliant because you had to be, undiagnosed everything for your whole lifetime, still went to grad school, still went to law school, still did it, right? Just like white knuckling masking. And someone cares about you so much, your chosen friends that you care about like that, cares about you so much that when you just need, they just honestly wanted to help me. It honestly did not even matter what else happened. So much that they literally just wired me €150,000 and are now increasing their investment in the project months later, like right now, tonight. It lets you know that things are possible that you've always wanted in here, but couldn't really say to yourself because you couldn't see how you could do it by yourself, but you weren't meant to do it by yourself. You weren't meant to do it by yourself. You can't. One person is not, it's not how it goes. Big world changing, beautiful art, creation things. It's not meant for one person to do on their own. So you got to show up. Stop blocking her with your effort and your frontal lobes. And now let's take a minute. Oh, Lex, I'm so glad. Hi, Andrea. I love you too. I know London was talking about Oakland earlier today. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to move into Power Wish method for. So that was my talk on eclipse that I wasn't going to give. That was my talk on the eclipse. Guys, it's 11:40 p.m. for me. That was my talk on the eclipse that I wasn't going to give, but it really mostly me wanting to say, just ask for what you want. For the next 2 weeks, just try. If you're doing my daily ritual, if you're doing your version of my daily ritual, keep doing it. If you're not doing any other morning practice, do this. If you're doing my daily ritual, keep doing it and add this. Just write what you want. I don't want you to plan the natural next step. I don't want you to say what you want and list out the ingredients of what you want. I want you to say what you actually want, period. It's kind of like our old God box, which we'll now call Goddess box practice. Just write down what you want. If you want to work a technology around it, get the book The Circle by Laura Day and work that. But just write what you want. Do that every day. It may be the same thing a bunch of days. It may not be. I'm not going to tell you have to write one thing, 3 things, 12 things. Write what you want and let it be. And don't try to figure out how to make it happen up here. Just desire what you desire. The end. Watch what happens. Come back in 2 weeks and tell me what happens. But no, you might have to buckle up a little bit because when the goddess drops, it's a whole drop. It's like, and you may have to show up in trust in ways you didn't before. And remember, those magic words that you'll have to say, sometimes my magic words that unlock the windows of heaven are like, nope, not doing it. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not, nope, not doing that. Mm-mm. Doesn't feel right. And I don't explain it. I saw a woman the other day post this video about it's like things that goddesses would say in awkward situations. And it was all this like, I don't explain myself. And I'm like, a would never be in a situation like that and be like, I don't explain myself. You are explaining yourself. You're doing that. You would just be like, no. Or my favorite, I don't work here. Good. On to the next. Okay, power wish method for new moon in Leo. Yes, every 2 weeks it feels like we're meeting every 2 weeks because we are. Because every 2 weeks there is a full moon or a new moon, and today is a new moon in the sign of Leo. We're going to talk about what that means in just a second, and I'm going to give you some example power wishes that are particularly supercharged right now. We are working the Power Wish method. Just for context, if you haven't been coming to these, we are working the Power Wish method from the book The Power Wish by the Japanese astrologer Keiko. It's a wonderful reference book. I encourage you to invest in this book. I use this book every 2 weeks, and you do this whole ritual every 2 weeks, right? So the first thing you have to do is sort of, it's like a little bit of like a mic check 1, 2, universal mic check, lunar mic check. You're just wanting to make sure that all of the higher powers and forces that be are aware that you're about to get into alignment with the energies that are supercharged in this lunation. All right. And in the Power Wish method, you do that by writing out this little script before you set your intentions. It's ideal to do this in writing. If you know your own human design chart and you have any like throat activations or voice is particularly powerful for you, spoken voice is particularly powerful for you, it's also helpful to read it, but it's always helpful to write it. Okay. So the anchoring statement, the like mic check, pay attention to me statement. Oh my gosh, that reminds me. Today I was out with London and we were doing something and she said, Mama, I'm the main star of this. And I said, yeah, but main stars wash their faces. She goes, oh, dang it. Okay. So what you're saying is just like, I'm the main star of this moment, universe. Can you pay attention to me? All right. The anchoring statement for every time there's a new moon, this is the anchoring statement that you write. She asks that you write it word for word. I change it a little tiny bit to substitute words that make sense for my spiritual practice and my spirituality. Okay. The statement is this, and I'm going to read it a couple times. If you want to get it verbatim, just get the book Power Wish. You'll reference it every 2 weeks. It's an amazing return. Cost per read. Okay. I am certain that the wish I am making is perfectly aligned with the will of the universe, and that it is the highest and best way to bring love and prosperity into the world. Through the wish I'm making, I intend for my love and power to quickly reach all beings everywhere. All right? Okay. I'm going to do it again just so you can catch a vibe and just so I can kind of hip you to how I tend to edit it a tiny bit for myself and some suggested personalizations for you. Okay. I am certain that the wish I'm making, I might say, I'm certain that this intention or these intentions um, is perfectly aligned with the will of the universe. My practice is aligned with the will of the goddess. Yours could be God, source, spirit, all that is, Christ, whatever, whoever it is that you know, have your spiritual love affair with. And that my intentions are the highest and best way to bring love and prosperity into the world. Through the intention I'm setting, she says, through the wish I'm making, I would say through the through the intention I'm setting, I intend for my love and power to quickly reach all beings everywhere. Okay. So from there, what you want to do is set your more granular intention, more or less granular intentions. I was in a, I did I attended a fellow teacher's ritual the other day, and this person's very popular on Instagram and is good at his particular craft. And his rituals were a lot of like, well, you could do this or you could just do whatever. I'm not a you could just do whatever with spirit type chick. I don't think you can do whatever you want to, but if you want it to work in the ways that you desire it to work, and if you want to demonstrate, like London said to me the other day, Mama, you take me really seriously. And I'm like, you damn straight I take you seriously. I take spirit seriously. Um, and spirit takes me seriously in turn. So I'm not really big on just like floofing and just kind of like trailing off at the end. No, but I do think that if you have particular, you know, spiritual beings or energies that are cultural for you or resonant for you or meaningful to you, if you have particular values, it is absolutely appropriate for you to revise these kinds of statements, in the shape that that is proven, but with the things that are personal to you. Um, okay, so for new moon is a blank slate. The moon is dark, in not just on eclipse night, in every new moon. So it's very about forward thinking. It's a blank slate. So your intentions are the beginning of like a spiritual scaffolding. You almost might think of it as for what you're calling in. All right. And what we do is you use that anchoring statement I just read to you. I'll read it one more time. Then you'll set your intentions. And I will say more or less granularly because I think you got to do what you got to do, what feels right in here. There's no bad and way to set an intention. There are more or less effective ways to set intentions. So, and then at the end of your Newman intentions, you say, you phrase your Newman intentions in terms of intending. I intend for, I intend on, I intend to. All right. And let me give you some examples to make it concrete. Actually, I said I would read that one more time. I am certain that the wish I'm making is perfectly aligned with the will of the universe, and that it is the highest and best way to bring love and prosperity into the world. Through the intention I now set, I intend for my love and power to quickly reach all beings everywhere. Okay, now let's go to Leo. This is directly from the book, okay, from Power Wish. A Leo new moon helps you create the life you want, live boldly and confidently, transform an inferiority complex into an appreciation of your own uniqueness, which any neurodivergent, gifted um, midlife woman, we are, you are a once in a universe creation, being, experience, adventure, phenomenon. Um, Become a great self promoter, garner attention and acclaim, live a luxurious life, turn hobbies and things you love into something you get paid for, spice up a monotonous life, lead a team or company, succeed in the entertainment industry, and also Leo New Moon helps you with anything related to the heart, back posture, or circulation. Um, let's see. Okay. If you don't know exactly what to write intentions about, consider these thought starters. In what field would you like to shine? How would you like to introduce yourself? I think how like when I'm tuning into what I really desire, I'm like, in a year, I walk into a dinner party filled with my favorite people and a bunch of new people who are going to be my new favorite people. How do I want the people who know me to introduce me to the room? What is your greatest asset? What would you do if you could take a month off from work? Okay, so she gives three power wish examples that are likely to come true with the Leo new moon. One, from this day on, I intend to make pleasure a priority in my life over obligations and responsibilities. Two, I intend to emphasize my best features and live confidently. Three, I intend to be assigned a new role. I would say I intend to land or elevate into a new role that allows me to fully shine at my company. Okay. So now she'll go on to give us some examples in a bunch of different specific areas, like relationships and partnerships. This summer, I intend to meet someone with a gorgeous smile and to fall passionately in love. Um, I intend to see my work as a form of self expression in which I can show off my best self. I intend to give a stellar presentation that moves the audience at tomorrow's meeting. I intend to transition to a life in which the more fun I have, the more money I make. We have a similar, we're in my Substack studio program over on school. We're doing a series of like writing life, writing identity affirmations right now. And one of them is like, everything I do for enjoyment enriches my writing or something like that, which is like very beautiful. Um, go back because I feel like there's a piece I missed. Yes. So with the Leo full moon, with the Leo new moon, which this is, the overarching energy is around learning the pleasure and joy of life. So this is also from the book. She asks, are you enjoying your life right now? Can you feel from the bottom of your heart that you are happy to be alive? If the answer to both, or I would say either of these questions is no, make the shift to a life of joy using Leo power wishes. Enjoying your life is neither selfish nor self indulgent. It's simply necessary in order for your wishes to come true. These are maybe joy is one of the magic words of the goddess. Wishes don't come true when you're furrowing your brow, they come true naturally as you enjoy life and radiate a happy and fun vibration. Having fun while manifesting your wishes, Leo helps you make that a reality. The trick with Leo power wishes, and this is so important right now, you guys, is to set aside obligations and responsibilities and write down what excites you and makes your heart dance. The kind of wish that, if it comes true, will allow you to shine more brightly than ever before. If you have no idea what excites you or what you want to do, you can write a power wish that will help you find out. Leo power wishes are also very helpful if you want to become famous or step into the limelight. They are particularly effective if you have a competition or an audition coming up. And I'm going to tell you this. I know that you were taught that self promotion or wanting to be famous is bad or somehow you cringe, cringeissimo. Um, if if that is in your design, if that is one of your sacred contracts to influence many people, and you are not doing it because you were taught that it is cringeissimo, um, that is just another way of self-violence. It's just another way of being inauthentic. It's just another way of not being true to who you really are, and it is a way that you will end up in perpetual burnout. If you were designed to be someone who's famous, or let's just say influential, or to create culture, and you're cringing back from doing it because you think it's lame, or that's a terrible word, you think it's, whatever. You don't wanna be judged. You don't wanna be seen as wanting to be famous. It's just another way of violence to self. So just want what you want and fuck them people, okay? Um, Visualize yourself standing tall. She says it so much more nicely. Visualize yourself standing tall in the spotlight as you write power wishes that praise and celebrate you. Okay, so let me give you a couple more examples from the book, and then I'm gonna let you go. Okay, here's one. I intend to be the hero, she says, of my own dramatic life. I would say of my own adventurous life. And then I would add all of our old OG Florence Scovel Shinn kind of be like boosters. Under grace, overcome seas in perfect ways. You want to have adventures more than you want to have dramas. Um, I intend to become a person who can declare with confidence that I create my own fortune in life. I intend to experience firsthand the principle the more fun I have, the more money I get. I intend to attract attention with my current work and become famous. And I do personally, I'm very mm, intentional about my words. So I would declare for or intend for something like a massive, thriving, positive, supportive platform full of people who I love and who love me, or something like that. I intend to maintain a beautiful posture. From this day on, intend to choose an adventurous life. I intend to gain the strength and confidence to say what I want to say, no matter whom I'm speaking with. All right. So, those are some of the new moon power wishes. She gives many more examples and keywords. I'm going to just check the chat. All right. And yes, this was a talk where I was like, I'm not gonna push myself physically in this time to do a whole lot of promoting or to make it be a whole structured thing, but I do want us to be I want you to be accustomed to gathering together on full moon and new moon. And I benefit from these rituals as much as you do. Um, okay. So I'll leave you to set your intentions. I do want to see you back in a couple weeks at the full moon, and I want you to report back on that desire practice. Let's just see what happens. I love you. I'll see you soon.